And welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. I'm Lisa Akbari, your host, and tonight I have a very special guest, but we've actually kind of zoomed in on our guest, but I'm just going to talk about it for a few minutes. Tonight we're doing something very special. It's something I call hands-on, and so many of you have emailed me, you have called and asked questions about your hair and how can you dress your hair for bed and how can you take care of your own natural hair. So tonight we're going to talk about that, okay? So we have here Nisi. Thank you so much, Nisi, for being with us tonight. And yeah, Nisi has natural hair. And so we're going to do several things. Right now, Nisi's hair has been freshly shampooed, and it's so important. We always talk about clean hair and shampooing and conditioning your hair. So it's been freshly shampooed and it's conditioned. So her hair she has her leave-in products on, and we're going to talk about some of the things that some techniques on how to shampoo properly, and then we're going to talk about some techniques on how to do what we call shampoo and go, some quick fixes, because so many individuals who've written in and who've called me, and the biggest thing is I don't know how to work with my hair and how to style my hair and care for my hair, so I don't shampoo as often as I should. So we're going to start with our shampoo technique just to make sure we're doing that properly, and then we're going to really get into the other things that we need to learn, like shampoo and go styles and all these different styles that we can do quickly. That's important. All right, so we'll start with our shampoo technique. And so one of the things we want to do, and I'm going to kind of do it for you, and then we're going to have Nisi follow the technique. It's crucial. Most of you shampoo with shampooing on top of your hair. You normally just rub through the hair. Well, what that causes is tangles and matting, and something we call webbing. And we don't want to do that. So you have detangle session that you have to follow because you've now tangled, webbed, and matted your hair. So the technique, you shampoo scalp and then you shampoo hair. So you start by putting your hand over your right ear, over your left ear, and you slide your fingers all the way under the hair till you press into the scalp, and then you slide out and rub on top of the hair. So we're going to start with Nisi, putting your hand over your right ear and over your left ear, and slide your fingers straight up under your hair. Now, what do you notice? Her fingers are under here and her hair is on top. That's the goal. If you're shampooing and you can't see your hair, your fingers are on top, but Nisi's fingers are underneath, okay? You can see that. See her, there's her hair, and her fingers are underneath. That's so important. Now she's gonna massage into her scalp. There you go. You can see the hair riding on top, and then she's going to slide her fingers out, straight down. Now rub on top of the hair. On top, like see the common mistake, rub straight down on top of the hair. See the difference? And what's happening, her strands are beginning to relax, and she's shampooing hair, and then she's shampooing scalp. So you have over the ears, and then you slide your fingers out, and then you come in the hairline, going underneath the hair, underneath, and you massage. So you're getting your upper crown and your hairline. Slide the fingers out, and then you're rubbing the hair. So you're cleaning, and then you go into the back of the head, behind the ears, underneath the hair, into the scalp, slide your fingers out after you've massaged, and then rub on top. And so now if your hair is longer, you're creating a part. See how she's beginning to create a part. So she's got section for control. So now she's shampooing, but she's not tangling her hair. So what I like to say is if you don't create a tangle, there's no tangle to remove. Okay, so you've got their shampoo technique. So it's just easy as 1, 2, 3. So how's that, niece?
I love it. That's new for me. That's really new.
And now you won't tangle your hair. So you'll bypass the detangling technique. And then, of course, it's with conditioning. When you condition your hair, you want to start with conditioning the ends first. And we're not, because her hair has been shampooed and conditioned already, we won't put conditioner on. We'll put some of her leave-in products, and you'll be able to see the technique. But you would start with conditioners on the ends. Why do you do that? Because when you condition the ends, it releases any tangles that may have developed or even some small webbing on the ends. So once you put the conditioner on the ends, and then you're going to open the hair, I'll get the front, you open the hair, and you're able to open it, and then you can slide the conditioner from the scalp hair to the ends. So that's the technique. So what we want to do is we're going to just use our leave-in conditioners to demonstrate that, but you do the same thing with leave-in conditioners, and you do it with your deep conditioning conditioners. All right, so we'll start with one of our leave-in conditioner, just our leave-in spray-on conditioner. And you want to put a little bit in your hand. And once you apply it to your hand, you rub it. Yeah, there you go. You rub it in your palms of your hand, and then down to your fingertips. And down to your fingertips. It's like lotion, so it's great. But then you work with your ends, and you just go through the hair. So you go on that side, or that side, and then you come down and work your ends. And what you're doing is working your way back through the hair. Now, it's so much easier when you do that. So I'm starting here, and I'm just basically picking up here so that I can gather my ends. And the reason for that is so that I can release the ends. Then you take the palms of your hand, and you slide down your ends. Slide down your ends. So she's doing one side, I'm taking care of the other side. You slide down your ends. Once you do that, it's easier to open the hair. So now she can open up the hair and actually spray her leave-in products to her hair close to the scalp. So let's part. So you're always parting with a crawling technique with your finger. So you're kind of crawling through and opening the hair. See the hair release. Easy. So she's going to spray her leave-in conditioner on the hair close to the scalp. I know your hands are kind of wet.
Yes, slippery.
Very slippery. So we'll get a towel maybe so I can, there you go. And there you go. And you're sliding your fingers. It's the same technique. So you're using your finger and your thumb. And then you're going to use your forefinger. We're going to see if we can turn the opposite way so you can see. There you go. Your finger and your thumb. And now your forefinger and your thumb. And you feel for any little kink. Okay. And then you're going to take what I call your human comb and slide through. Slide straight through. See? And you're not pulling. All that hair, and show your hands, you don't have any of that hair. See? No hair on your hands. All of that times we have hairs on our fingers is because we're playing tug of war with our hair. Your hair is going to have a certain amount of elasticity, but when you go beyond that amount, it creates a microscopic tear, and eventually you lose the appropriate amount of elasticity that's required to actually comb your hair and manage or manipulate your hair, and so it breaks. Without elasticity, your hair breaks. So you can avoid that. So that's what she would do throughout. So we're going to quickly go through the hair. And with the technique, yes. Well, you're going to just open up the hair. Yeah, just separate it. And just go, make sure you're getting on the hair close to the scalp so that you can, and yes, you can use your fingers if that's easier, or you can use the sprayer and spray straight down, or some people have that little and they part with their leave-in conditioner. It depends on the company's product. You can just, don't spray your eye. But you know, it might be good for those lashes. But we don't want to do that. Okay, so you're going through it, and it's easy. Is this easy for you?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, a little different from what you normally do.
Yes, Lord.
Normally you're like, okay, here, who's gonna win, me or you? Let's fight. Boxing gloves on. We don't want to fight our hair. We tend to bully our hair into a style. We tend to bully our hair into releasing those tangles. We're like, okay, we want a comb and we're going to rake and rake. And some of my patients come into the Institute with these tears, microscopic tears through their shafts. And when I view the strand, I can see where the comb has literally ripped through that strand. And that's a problem because then, of course, the breakage is there. So that's why so many ladies with natural hair have a problem with length. And because they have that whole detangling section. So while Nisa's going through her hair, and then we're going to show you the shampoo and go technique. So write down those notes. Remember, if you have questions for me, you can email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com, and that's LISA@LISAAKBARI.com, lisa@lisaakbari.com. Now, I want you to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. I have all kinds of things, and later on, you'll see things, even this tape, you'll see it on Facebook, YouTube. Definitely please subscribe to my YouTube page because you'll get alerts every time I'm doing something new. And these are things I'm excited about. It's one of my ways I reach out into the community at large and to help out. Because most of what I do in my institute is, if I'm not teaching one of the classes, I'm actually working with patients microscopically. And the people I get are people who come in and have problems. My outreach, what I'm doing right now, is to avoid those problems, to keep us from having to see a trichologist such as myself. So this is really, really important that you learn these techniques. How's it going, Nisi?
It's
going great?
Yes, I like it. Yeah.
Super. So she has her hair. Her is really, I'm just going to work through it just to check to see if she's doing okay. And just remember, if you feel like, if I go through her hair and I get to a kink, I take my forefinger, and my thumb, and I'm just going to slide through, pressing the product. Because she's already has, look how hydrated and defined her curls are becoming and beautiful. And I'm going to take my forefinger and thumb and go through, and then I'm going to take my human comb, and I'll be able to go straight through her hair without hair on my hands. Isn't that great? Yes. So that's super. Yeah, because that's how you obtain length. The more hair you lose, less chances of you obtaining length. And then I have patients come in and say, well, my hair just wouldn't grow, or my hair grew to a certain length and stopped, and that kind of thing. And you always want to remember that you're sectioning for control. So if you say, well, okay, I'm going to do a section, and I'll get over here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to do something different, like some Bantu knots or things, and we'll learn some of that tonight. And then you won't have an opportunity to do that if all the hair starts to tangle up and mat up. So you can sometimes take the hair and just get it out of the way and twist it and just tuck it away so that you can continue to work so it doesn't get in a different section. And I just simply tuck that away and move that out of the way. Okay. All right. So do we think we're okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now what we want to do is one of the simplest style, and it's wonderful because it's going to give you that easy on the go style. So we want to put on our leave-in products, and the next leave-in product we want to put on is a moisturizer. Moisturizers, you want a moisturizer that's slightly dense so that it can really give you some cuticle control. And the cuticle is your top layer of the hair. I call it my style layer. And the cuticle actually helps to determine how the hair is going to look. In other words, it also determines frizz. If you have frizz or not frizz. So look at her hair and look how it's just really manageable. It's wonderful, it's hydrated. So let's start with one of our moisturizers. We'll do our natural moisturizer is going to give you definition, the most dense one. This one right there.
Texture.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you want to take them and you want to start with putting, and I'm going to do a little bit of it on one opposite side, and you can feel how dense it is. You can put just a little bit on the back of your hand, and then use that as a palette. And then you're rubbing it on the ends. Always remember, it's on the ends first, then you can get to the rest of the hair. Now, I want you to see, if you use a moisturizer that's dense enough, look what's beginning to happen. She's getting curl definition, and that's what you want. So we start by putting it on the ends, going to our hairline. So I'll do this side, and we'll see which one is the best. And so many ask about products to use on the hairline to make it lie down when you have natural kinky hair. But look what's happening, because you don't want gel, but look at the nice, how much is laying that hairline down. So she's beginning to have that nice smoothness to her hairline. And this allows you control. And since we're going to do what I call a shampoo and go, so we want to make sure we have an even smoothness. So it's about even distribution and product placement. So we're placing products where we want it. So she's got a nice dense moisturizer. And I know some of you are thinking, what moisturizer? You want to use your favorite, but make sure it's a dense moisturizer. You can go on my website. I can help you with that, or email me. This show is not about product. It's more about you learning some technique. And some of you have your favorites, so you can use those. That's fine. But I have some choices for you, and I can help you with that as well. And we'll put a couple of things on the screen that you can get later on. Okay, so we're smoothing around. Now we'll get more. So I made my way almost around half of her head. I'm almost on the side that she's working on. Well, you're going through the hair and I'm going on the hairline. Okay, so teamwork. Now you won't always have that at home, but I do want to show you how to work that hairline. And you see me doing the same thing, and all I'm doing is taking small amounts, going around the hairline. And she's working it through her hair. And this is one of the techniques that you can use for several things. You can use it as a shampoo and go, and also you can use it to stretch your fro, which is a big deal for a lot of folk. They want to know how to stretch my fro. Look how it's stretching it. And look at the definition in her curl pattern. I will be at Whole Foods this weekend, which is going to, I'll demonstrate some of these techniques. And if I'm not at the Whole Foods near you, just call your local Whole Foods and they can let you know when I can be there, or you request me. So they'll have me come in. And look at the hair. See how it's stretching? So you want to work through the hair. Now this is something she can do, but I want you to know the technique. And what am I focusing on? I'm going down the hair and I'm getting the ends as well. So just use a regular headband, and I'm just going to use this one, which is my favorite. And you're going to go over, making sure you got all the hair. And sometimes if you're not able to get it on properly, then just use a scrunchie first and then put your headband on. You're going to bring it all the way up, and then you bring your fro over. It depends on this is your shampoo and go day, and it's going to dry and you're going to have definition. And it depends on how much of your hairline you want to show, then you can just bring it and push some of the hairline forward and smooth the hairline down. Especially folks that have worn braids, like she's worn braids before, there's sometimes that traction, so you'll have a little bit of density and consistencies there that's from wearing braids. But we're going to do shows about that as well, because I think braids are great options, but it's like a good thing going bad, because we tend to put it too tight on our hairline and we create the traction. Now, cute. All I can say is cutie pie. So this is a nice shampoo and go look. Let's turn to, oh, cute, nice. What do you think? And see how easy that was? And it'll dry and you'll have nice definition and it'll be soft and hydrated. Now, the only thing that you would do different is you would put oil on to seal in your hydration. Your moisturizer soften, and then the oil seals in the hydration. So what we're going to do is take her band off, and we're going to go into a slightly different style. And we're going to have her oil her scalp, her ends, starting with her ends first. Your oil, see your oil right in front of you? Yeah, I'm going to let you do it.
What to do?
Yeah, just oil your scalp. We're gonna put a little bit on your ends. Now, will everyone oil their scalp? No, I don't oil my scalp. I don't necessarily have to, because my scalp is very healthy. And so, but in winter months, it really is not a problem to put oil on your scalp lightly. But the way you know if the oil is going to work well for you is you want to make sure you put a small amount on the back of your hand, rub it in. If it goes in and has a nice shine, then it's going to be scalp friendly. If it feels really heavy, then it's not going to be scalp friendly. It's going to clog your pores.
Scalp friendly.
Scalp friendly.
Yes.
Okay, so you can oil your scalp and on your in your ends, and you're going to take a small amount. Always use the back of your hand as your little palette. You want to make sure that you put a small amount and then just go through and see how she's able to go through and part with her fingers. So often we rush a comb, and when we do that, we end up with pulling our hair and tearing. But our human comb, our fingers, we don't have that problem. Okay, so remember, I know my phone lines are not open tonight, and I know you're probably wanting to call me, but the phone lines are not open tonight, so we can't ask questions, but you can email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com, and follow me on Twitter and what's Facebook. Make sure you like me on Facebook and you subscribe to my YouTube page. And you can go to my website, actually, lisaakbari.com, lisaakbari.com. That's my website. And you'll see so many tips on there and videos and things like that. And we'll even try to upload this show if we are able to. Okay, so now she's oiling her scalp. And what that's going to do is seal in her hydration. Now, this is especially important during the dry months. And like I said, I have people who email me all the time asking about quick styles. And they also email me about the winter dehydration or the dehydration of the hair. I have some videos and some information about hair and scalp dehydration on my video, on my website as well. So that will be great for you. So we want to make sure. Now, see, she's able to go through her hair and just really part and really put the oil on her scalp, and it's great. It's great. We've got about 10 minutes left on the show, so we're going to show a couple of other styles, but I want to make sure that you guys have this. We want to show you Bantu knots, which is so incredibly easy, and then we want to actually show, and look how great her hair looks, how hydrated and all that definition. And then we want to show you just a couple of other things. I think we can show you one with the headband, but would it pull completely back? Okay, super. All right. Okay, so remember, again, when you take your fingers, you slide against your scalp. Look what's happening. Now, remember, we're always wanting to use gel. Let's see if we can turn. There we go, right there. You see how smooth that is? We want to use gel. Okay, let's undo. We've got it twirled around, okay? Now we're going to take it, and we're going to fold it, and then we're going to turn and just twirl it around the base. She's repeated it so you can catch it. Yeah, it's really a simple technique. Now, the great thing about this Bantu is that you can take them down after a day, and then you have this really cute style. So now we have a nice little Bantu, a little knot. So you want to try one?
Yes, I'll try.
Let's try. So we're going to take a section, use your fingers to part. Okay, there you go. So you've got your nice little square part. And if it's not a perfect square, no worries. Okay? Very good.
Okay.
All right, so let's divide it into two sections. We're going to do a two-section twist. So you're basically turning and turning. You see it? Very good. And then when you get to the end, just to speed it up, you can just twirl. There you go. Now let's fold it into, just fold it straight down as low as you want it to be, and then twirl it around the base. But you got to try to hold onto that end, scoot it around and catch it. It's a little awkward initially, it is, but you'll get it, I promise you. And you'll decide whether you're going to twirl to the right or to the left, and you're left-handed, so yeah. You decide what's going to be the best. Let's take a look. You didn't do bad. That's not, is this yours? Okay.
This mine.
Okay, you didn't do bad. See, you did great. And so what I tell everyone who wants to do this is a little more time consuming. You can get get a video in and watch a movie, and before half of the movie's gone, you're done. And you can just wear it. But let's watch what happens. You always want to reverse, and when you reverse the hair, And you're just gonna separate the twist and watch what they do. And so if they dry like this for a minute, then once he dries, and let's kind of look, see how that is? And we're just gonna reverse the other one. I should let you do it.
All right. Careful.
And dry. And see, and once they dry, you'll have complete definition and it'll create something really nice, just nice textures. And look at the hair, and it's changed. So the frizz fro you can do, or you can do something with definition as you see here. What do you think? And we're gonna stretch that one out so you can really see that definition in that curl pattern. Look at that, pretty cool. Okay, now quickly, we have about 3 minutes left. We're gonna take our fingers and thumb, we're gonna smooth back, and we're gonna use our same scrunchie. Matter of fact, we're gonna leave those out. And Nisi loves to wear her hair, her natural look, but she runs and she's very athletic, so we wanna make sure she has, yeah, she does. She's showing you. And so we're going to give her a nice little scrunchie, and we're going to pull it back. So I'm going to use this one now. You would want to use a smaller one. It depends on the length of your hair. So we're going to pull it back into the scrunchie. And then if you want it to really lie flat, you just get a silk scarf. And I'm going to show you something really cool. And you tie it down and it lays really flat. But what I'm going to do is use my scrunchie to help me pull it back. And I'm not going to keep it this way, but I'm going to show you how quickly it'll start to mold in place where it wants to stay back. Okay, we're going to leave it like this. Let's see if it'll stay. And then, because we only have a few minutes left, I'm going to take our moisturizer. It's not as dense as the other. I'm going to smooth it through the hair. And I'm just going to stretch this hair out. The hair, well, we've got the nice definition. You saw that only took a few seconds to get that definition. We've got about 2 minutes left. And I want you to see just how quickly this is going to give us some nice stretch. So we're going to let it sit for about a minute. I'm going to hold the blow dryer against it, so I'm going to kind of yell a little bit. You'll be able to hear me. So I'm going to hold this blow dryer, and I'm just going to fan dry. And all I'm doing is rubbing. Look at that. Isn't that great? Look at that definition. I just love it. And then I'm going to hold it against the hair. And all I'm doing is, see, I'm holding it against the hair. Bringing it around the back. And it's just going to stretch the hair out. Because basically what this blow dryer is doing, it's just basically stretching that curl pattern out. So I'm laying it against. And I'm basically drying. So she still will have her own hair, natural, but yeah, we've got about a minute and we're almost done, 60 seconds. I'll make my producer nervous. Okay, so we're done. And then we're just gonna release it. So you can see the curl pattern. Okay, and we're gonna put our scrunchie away and you just basically lift. You lift the hair. And it's almost like a fro hawk, but what you're doing is you're just really giving her some nice stretch. And then you take the front and you frame it. You can put some clips, you can do whatever you want, but take the front and you just kind of frame your hairline. And we got about 30 seconds. But you can see what I've done, and I'm gonna connect with the bang. Give it a little more shape. Okay, and we're pretty much done. So what are you thinking? This is our different look. This is just quick on the go. I want to do something different. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Did I do that right? Yes. And subscribe to me on YouTube. Email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com, or you can call my institute at 901-380-4445. I'll see you next time right here on Ask the Hair Doctor.
Bye.
Wow. You're looking really cute. Look at that.